What's up guys, welcome to this video. And this video I want to talk about why I think it's key to take massive risks during your 20s or even low 30s. And I have experience in this because I started very young in my journey. I actually started when I was around 16, 17 years old on high school. So I've been doing this for almost 10 years. I'm almost 27 now. And I'm extremely grateful that I started so early, because I used all my 20s to take a lot of risk. And by risk, I mean like building a business from scratch, going through multiple business models, investing a lot of money on advertising, which is a risky investment, right? Especially if you don't have a lot of skills. And I was investing money on ads, even if I didn't have that many skills. So it was a risky investment. And investing in crypto, investing in stocks, investing in NFTs, right? I've taken a lot of risk throughout my 10 years of my journey, a lot of risk. I would say more risk than most people, but it has not given me any issues, because when I took a risk and it went the other way, it didn't go my way, and the result was not what I expected, it didn't really matter, because I didn't have a lot of responsibilities. I didn't have, a family of my own, a house of my own, all these fixed expenses, especially in my low 20s, right? And in Costa Rica, people stay in their houses for way longer than with their parents, way longer than in the US. So for example, when people go to high school in the US and they graduate, typically they leave their house to go to college, and they stay in college for several years, and after college they get a job, they go to another state, and they don't see their family as much. Costa Rica is a very family-oriented country, and when people graduate from high school, they go to a college nearby, and they stay in their house, and they maybe even get a job after high school, and they maybe stay with their parents, and it's like in their 25, 26 years old, they leave, right? Obviously, it goes from case to case, but the point is, in this country, you don't really have a lot of fixed costs if you stay in your house, right? So I didn't leave my house until I was 23 or something like that, 22 or 23. So for 6 years, I was taking massive risks, but if it didn't go my way, it didn't matter, because I was not gonna, I was not gonna be in a crazy situation where I couldn't afford food or my rent, right? And I believe this is a huge advantage that I had. I started so early, I was able to take all this risk without having much downside. I mean, the only thing that could happen is that I could lose time, but I had a ton of time because I was very young, and I'm still very young. And also I could lose money, but it didn't matter that much because I was so young, I could get it back. And because I had skills, I knew how to get it back. So nothing, and even if I lost everything, I would still have a roof over my head and food and all that stuff. So this is a huge advantage that you have when you are young, and it doesn't only apply to me, it applies to most people that are young, right? You're in school, you're in college, and you don't have a family, you don't have 2 kids running around, and you don't have 2 dogs, and you don't have a house that you need to pay, and that maybe things are breaking down and you have to pay for all these things. So this is why 20s, this gap is the time to take risks, right? Start a business. I know it's risky, but it is the right time, because when you have a family of your own, you can start a business. And you can be 40 years old and start a business. You can be 60 years old and start a business. I'm not saying that's not the case. Obviously, yes. But by that point, you definitely have higher fixed costs. You have more responsibilities in your life. Your attention is being spread out inevitably on your kids and on the school of your kids and your wife and your dogs and the vacations with your family. It's being spread out. Your budget, right, is also being spread out throughout all these categories. You got to buy more food for everyone, the school, everything, insurance. And in the beginning, you don't really have much of that. So you can just go all into your business, take the money, invest it in things that are more risky, because even if those investments don't get your return that you expected, or even if you lose money, it's fine. I mean, if you invested $10,000 on freaking Tesla and it went to zero for some reason, right? You lost the $10,000, you're still 25. Like, who cares? Who cares? If you have skills, you can make it back in a month or 2 months. And you have really good skills, you can make it back in a week. So that's why it's key that in your 20s, you develop the money-making skills, you develop the investing skills, and you take massive risks. Because when you take, for example, you try to build 10 types of businesses, right, over 10 years. If you're disciplined and committed and you have decent skills, one of those businesses is gonna work. And it's gonna be a home run. And all you need to change your life is one home run. You don't need 10 things to work. You just need one home run. So the more risk you take in different things, the more chances you have of just finding that home run. And for me, I've worked on multiple business models. And in all of them, in absolutely every single model, I have made at least 6 figures. But there's some models where I have had massive, massive home runs. And all the risk was worth it because of that one home run. And that's what can happen in your 20s. You can just take a bunch of risk, and then one of those things is gonna set you up for life. And then you can take that money and you can invest it. And even if you play it safe, investing, that's great. But you can also use a part to take more risk investments that even if you lose it, it doesn't matter because you're still young. And that's the thing. Like, life gets so much harder like later on in life if you don't have skills and a business. Just think about it. Let's say there's someone who's 40 years old, works in just like in a regular company, 9 to 5, makes $3,000 a month, has 2 kids, a wife, 2 dogs, mortgage on their house, and leasing on their car. Okay, so this person has to go to work from 9 to 5. Okay, 9 to 5 to make $3K a month, which is gonna be used to pay the house and the car and the food and the school for the kids and the food for the dog and the insurance and everything. So it's disappearing. The money is disappearing even if this person is working 9 to 5. They get home super tired, and I don't blame them, because imagine taking orders from a boss all day for freaking 8 hours. Insane. So they get home all tired and they don't have the focus. It's more difficult to focus after a long day of work, to focus on the business. And at the same time, they also have to freaking go to the gym and work out. And like, life is it's like when you're playing a video game and you choose a difficulty and it's like you're playing on extreme, right? On hard. And if you're in your 20s and you're just starting out, man, you're playing the game in easy mode. You have such a bigger competitive advantage. So people say, enjoy your 20s and just go travel around the world and like have a bunch of fun. And I think people associate this with like do a bunch of crazy things like parties and drink alcohol and just go crazy doing crazy shit, right? And I believe that you can have a ton of fun in your 20s and you can even travel around and you can do all the things that you wanted to do while you're building your business. Like in my 20s, I've traveled a lot. But yeah, I had a lot of fun in my 20s and I traveled and I've done all the things that I've wanted to do while building my business. It's not like you have to be bored in your office all day for 10 years, no. But it's like, take care of yourself, like develop the habits, work out, go to the gym, build your business, hang out with people that are successful, people that are like-minded. And that's all you need. You can still have an amazing time during your 20s. Just don't waste them. Don't waste them, because later life gets on hard mode. And that's something I've learned from all the people I've learned from that are way older than me and they have families and everything. That's what they say, okay? And they also say that your priorities change later on in life. You spend more time with your family, you value more your time, your freedom. You're not so much about the stuff. It's about the freedom and the time. And I completely understand why. So, hope you found this video helpful. Go kill it. And if you want to work with me to scale your business, click the link below. I'll see you in the next video.